We've made a lot of episodes, 106 to this point, for a long time after today. This will be the episode that I referred to as the end of the mainstream narrative. An episode that we have built up to for a very long time. Welcome to 2025. I believe this is the perfect time to share this information with the world. So here we go. I asked their AI database, the AI ChatGPT, if there were any archaeological finds that have been removed from the public, removing evidence of a previous civilization that was here where we live today. The answer is shocking. Yes, there have been numerous instances where archaeological finds are removed from the public, all of us, where statement number 6 is the final straw for the mainstream narrative, a narrative that is taught to all of us since day one, a narrative that is being taught in children's classrooms in every country, stating controversial finds, items that could challenge established historical narratives, the mainstream narrative. These items might also be kept from public display, doing this to avoid controversy or debate. For any mainstream historian, this is the end. And for any archaeologist, you are now exposed. And this is just the beginning today. In fact, it's just the beginning of a massive series that we are starting right now as we speak. I'm going to be referring back to this episode time and time again. And to this point in all of our episodes, I've never needed to read something more. This page in their book will be the end of the story that we're all told, and the beginning of free thinking, the beginning of finding the truth, stating, advocates argue that the public access to such artifacts is essential for a fuller understanding of our true history and for fostering critical thinking about the truth, our world's true history, suppressing giants, with some findings in the Americas that suggest advanced civilizations existed, just like we've talked about before European contact, such as evidence of complex urban planning, where the mainstream narrative, the mainstream archaeology, dismisses it, which contributes to these artifacts that have been found not being displayed or discussed, hiding artifacts that would expose an advanced previous civilization, hiding them simply because it goes against the mainstream narrative, is exactly what we're being told. This highlights the tension between advancing knowledge, exactly what we're doing here, or sticking with the existing power structure in academia and society as we evolve this knowledge, exactly like we're doing right here on this channel. There may be a shift towards greater public access to the items found that are being hidden from all of us to this day. And I say that this is the beginning because we are now starting this series where we're going to expose the sites, the items that are currently being blocked off from the public, blocking them off, hiding them from all of us, an attempt that has been very successful for a long time to keep their false narrative in place. How many times to this point, when going back and watching the first 106 episodes, have we heard off limits to the public due to preservation or to keep looters away? How many times? This is the nod. This is the key, and we now know this. We've seen this in episode 98. Where access to the physical artifacts may be restricted to ensure their preservation. We've seen it in episode 102, where it is no longer being exhibited to the public. We've seen so many examples of this, and today, it couldn't be any clearer, any more straightforward, that so much of what we are told in life is controlled. It's manipulated to fit the narrative that we are all given. And we are about to take this to another level. Episode 86, when we saw that the project is supported by National Agency of Cultural Heritage Preservation of Georgia, the AFCP, has allocated more than $1 million to preserve and protect the mainstream narrative, is exactly what I'm reading right now. This is a moment where our eyes open up even further, and we are able to see with more clarity than ever before. And once you're able to see, you will never go back. Understanding that preservation and protecting in the world of archaeology, this means preserving and protecting themselves, their narrative. This does not mean that they are preserving or protecting what they have found. And I want to make that very clear. And this is fully exposed now. The blindfold has been ripped off, and there's no going back. This show is a progression. It takes time to show people the truth. There is a buildup, a process. The episodes are in order for a reason. The AFCP, an initiative by the United States Department of State, just starting up in 2001. What a year. A group that the people of America fund through their tax dollars. A group that the world did not need in the 18 or 1900s. And I wonder why. Now again, I just want to clarify, and I don't want to be sarcastic at all. This group is amazing. We all know that they really are preserving and protecting all of our favorite sites. They support projects in over 130 countries, preserving tangible and intangible cultural heritage, such as historic structures, archaeological sites, and traditional crafts. They restore ancient temples and mosques, conservation of manuscripts from the Old World, textiles, and Old World music, preservation of significant landscapes. They are for sure doing all of this. Right. I know a few people that don't think that they're helping any of these places. In fact, it's the opposite. And I have to say that I know these people very well. Jebel Barkal and the sites of the Unopened region, Sudan, where the AFCP has funded conservation efforts at this UNESCO World Heritage Site. And we know this group very well, which includes temples, palaces, and pyramids from the Old World. You've got to ask, why are there so many groups that aim to supposedly preserve and protect sites that don't fit into the mainstream narrative that the exact same group publishes into the textbooks? And then they also fund the operation of teaching this narrative, the same narrative that they just wrote, all to the people at a young age in every single country. I believe that we have correctly translated their language. The words preserve, protect, and conservation, preserving and protecting their narrative is exactly what this means. And this unlocks so many more sites, so many old world places that is going to take this research so much further than we could have ever imagined. It will unlock places that have been hiding for so long. Without our sponsors, without our Patreons, without every subscriber, all of our badge members, and everybody who likes the episodes, this episode wouldn't be happening right now. This show, these episodes, it all honestly would have ended a long time ago. I appreciate all of you. And instead of ending the show a long time ago, because of all of you, we are now just getting started. Welcome to episode 107 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new, welcome. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he just made. I was shocked. He's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and then has plenty of energy left for his grandkids. He did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says that she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/lunch, or just by clicking the link below this video. It's gonna change the way you think about your health, I promise. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com patreon.com/lunch. Click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. You will not believe how simple this is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than me. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply by focusing on 3 things that sabotage our bodies as we age. Watch this method by clicking the link in the description box below. chuckdefense.com/lunch. All right, let's be real. There's a food you're probably eating right now that's killing your testosterone, draining your energy, and wrecking your focus. And the crazy part? This food is advertised as healthy. Tons of guys are eating it every day because they think it's gonna help them burn fat and build muscle. But here's the shocking truth. It's doing the exact opposite. Even if you only eat this food once in a while, it's enough to devastate your testosterone, leaving you feeling weaker, more unmotivated, and struggling in the gym, at work. And trust me, it's not just your age or genetics holding you back. It's this one unexpected food. Here's the thing. This food is so common that most guys don't even realize how much damage it's causing. But there's a simple way to avoid it, and our friends over at V-Shred have created a powerful video that reveals exactly what this healthy food is and how cutting it out can transform your whole body, helping you build muscle, lose fat, and boost your energy. So if you want to know what this testosterone killing food is and how to avoid it, head over to sculptnation.com/MLB. Again, that's sculptnation.com/MLB to watch the video, or click on the link below in the description. This could be the game changer you've been looking for. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description. And you can use my referral code, MLB. If you click the Tartaria button, you'll see the My Lunch Break playlist right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to Rebecca Kay, The Lady Lacey Show, David and Sherry Ferguson, Edwin Johnson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, The Burlesons, Suez KC, Edwin Rice, Helmut, Charles Kruger, Don Gaston, Dan Woodall, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Edward and Brianna, Jacob Law, Jim Ribley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glascock, BKTFnews.org, Ben Dries NL, Natalie Shippenoff, Amberson EMC, HK Sue, Melissa Edgar, Biggles, Clayton Lamar, Double Task Homestead, John Adams, Roberts O'Zolins, Phoenix Art, The Arnolds, Attila Power, VKH Bonner, Bell's Clarions for God, Forbidden Gecko Love, Justin Grobner Grubb, Leah Strong, Dakota Dunn, Eric Martinez, Ivan Apoctoli, Jim Bro, EggardT-shirts.com, Meta, Jason Hochberg, Marie C, ValleyMedicinals.com, Kyle Logan, Alina and Chris the IT Guy, Michael Dingyu, Patriot Armory, Tom O'Hara, Michael D. Connor, C3SCOB, Ancient Tallow, Jeffrey Temple, SonyaDane.com, James Alt, Bucksui, Jason Prest, Suki Warrior, We the People, Migs, Miss Rex's Murphy, Mark Chapman, Muji and DeClan, Ariana Oates, Jenica Joyce, Nathan Burba, Ski, Code Drenth, The Sovereign, Beacon of Truth, Liberty's Arborist, Thomas Thorpe Peterson, Zinger Coffee and Tea, Natasha C, K Moore, DevlinMcGregor.com, Miss Fox, Diamond Jewel, David Rauschenbach, Emily Maryland, Felipe, Curious Cat, Mike D, etc., Dan McGee, Lori Hedvig Johnson, Terry, Paraplegic Coffee, Ellie Annie, Ivan Apoctoli, Seth Craigo, D Woods, Glenn Gunderson, Mousie's Mouse Cheese Records, James Vincent, Robert's Brain is Gone, Extreme Reality Check, Anna and Marley Valdez, Wayne T, Late for Dinner, Wanakar Camo, Paolo Goncalves, G Power, Papa One, Jesse De Leon, Blake, Rick Tapke, Ducks, MDF TFV, Billy Prater, William Richard Jeffries V, Frizz Tickle, Dax Bill Check and Son, Jetski Chuck, Kim Lusada, Rod Way, Checkmate, Dylan Mugenberg, Leonard Insalacro, Martha Wooten, Robert Petro, Katz Hill, Bruce Latour, Susie Q, Yark 143, Sven Eric, Andrea J. Kerrigan, Janet Elizabeth, Dr. Mom, Hen Patriot, Doc Halo, Henry's mom, Vince Moreno, Shibba Shaba in the darkness. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. Jebel Barkal, a site that has been preserved and protected by the AFCP. And we all know why. The ruins include at least 13 temples. The temples were described for the first time in the 1820s. Again, our timeline. And never before this, with their drawings and their descriptions. In 1821, twice. And in 1844, documenting and recording significant architectural details. These documented accounts show architectural details that were here in the 1800s and have since disappeared. They're gone. And then the narrative just goes on without asking any questions. Like, what happened to them? How did they just disappear? Where you can see the depictions, the tents of the times, right here at the bottom. And then the pyramids in the background that they, of course, just found. These are the finders of the 1800s, our brand new timeline. With the pyramids at this time still having their tops and not yet blown off by the gunpowder, blowing off the tops of the pyramids within the last 200 years. What have we just found? Is this what they did in Egypt? What was the significance of the top of the pyramids? Why destroy the top? What is a pyramid? Why did the old world have so many of them? This site, the one that we're able to see today, is still incredible. What's left at this location after the AFCP has gone in here and preserved and protected the mainstream narrative, they still have depictions of the past, the old world, with depictions showing that there were beings here that did not look like us. And we know this at this point. And a palace that has been melted, destroyed, and completely turned into dirt. This whole area is mud and sand, with some sort of event taking place that wiped out this previous civilization. It is very obvious that something happened. This is not just from weathering. And I'm sorry, but this is not naturally forming, like we've been told. 118 miles from this site, we also have the ancient kingdom of Kush, with the AFCP conserving Kerma's treasures. Conserving. Let's take this further. While the primary meaning of conserve is to protect, preserve, or maintain something, the word conserve can imply keeping something out of view or safeguarding it in a way that limits public access, giving the appearance of hiding. But we promise, we're just trying to keep it safe, with examples being cultural artifacts. Artifacts or treasures are often conserved in controlled environments, like vaults. Keeping old world items in vaults. Could you even imagine, during a trial, saying that what they found is protected in a vault? And we promise it's just so the evidence is protected. We can't bring it into the room. But we swear they're there and we're hiding it. There's nothing to see and they're protected. Not putting them on public display. This is amazing. Environmental conservation to protect them from overexposure or human interference, closed off to the public. All of us. Our eyes are gonna ruin it and their eyes won't. It makes total sense. No. Confidential or sensitive materials, historical documents or artifacts may be conserved in archives where access is limited for their protection. And I'm just gonna be honest, these are all excuses to not let us see the old world, our true history, items that would give it all away. That there was a previous civilization here before us, a massive, powerful, advanced group of people right here where we all live. And their buildings, their structures remain for us to see today in every country, in every continent. We are not the most advanced civilization to ever be here. We are not evolving. This is nonsense. And we know this now. Technology has been here. They were not constructing the Milan Cathedral with a chisel. while riding around on a donkey. This story is nonsense, where they were struggling in winters, dirt roads, and couldn't find any food, not having a store to purchase shoes, and then going to the bathroom in their front lawn, and not having any toilet paper after they're done, until we all show up and save the day in the 1800s. This narrative is done. It's over. Again, Kerma, located 118 miles away, again in Sudan, and again, more melting. And of course, containing over 30,000 individuals, the old world people. And then they give us this stupid distraction word again, the pottery, saying they found the burials, especially with regards to material evidence such as pottery. We know that this is the indicator that they located more. They give us the pottery over and over, suggesting they were primitive, sitting around making bowls, sitting around making teacups over and over, and couldn't put their socks on by themselves. They needed our help more than anything. And we accepted that and never asked, what else did they find? The first archaeological excavation at the site of Kerma was conducted in 1913 and 1916, not 1740, not 1630, and not 1580. Once again, in the 18 or 1900s. Our timeline over and over and over and over. This is the case. This place has been destroyed, all in my opinion, but based on everything that we've seen. I believe that there are looters of these old world sites, as well as destroyers, and I think they're the same group that's writing our history. Now, we've seen what they're doing in Sudan. I want to show that this is worldwide. I want to show that the truth is being hidden from all of us, blocked off from the public. When we travel to China and find the Terracotta Army, a collection of over 8,000 soldiers that was just found in 1974 by a local farmer. And then, of course, just finding it in 1974, they are able to pin down the date of -210 and -209. This is insane at this point. And all of this is incredible, but not even close to the best part. Before we go on, let's take a minute and thank all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber, and everybody who likes the episodes. When you like and subscribe, I can see in real time the views go flying up and reach brand new people. I appreciate all of your support. We are on YouTube, Rumble, X, Instagram, TikTok, Rockfin, and Spotify. These episodes are in order for a reason. Are you ready? For centuries, occasional reports mentioned pieces of terracotta figures and fragments of the necropolis. Again, the necropolis. Episode 105, a cemetery, especially a large one, belonging to an ancient city. Again, episode 105. This is a necropolis, revealing pottery yet again. Finding all of this while digging a well. The Terracotta Army is part of a much larger necropolis. Ground penetrating radar and core sampling have measured the area to be approximately 38 square miles. Can you even imagine how many people from the old world are buried here? This is unbelievable. A massive 38 square mile site that we are told is a necropolis. What else is not being shown to us within these 38 square miles? And what does this site connect to underground? Tunnels. Again, so many heads are removed, where I believe there were beings here, individuals that do not look like us at all. 7 of them right here in the front without a head. Do you believe that that's on accident? This series is just getting started. I cannot wait to share what we have found. Telling us that they found rare animals, griffins, pits that formed the necropolis that lie within and outside of the walls surrounding the tomb mound, with the Terracotta Army statues, each having a uniquely crafted facial feature, hairstyle, and armor detail. No two faces are alike, meaning that we know these were not molds. The previous civilization had tools and were incredibly advanced. The figures are life-sized, typically 6 feet 6 inches tall. Some of the men had massive bodies. Again, giants, depictions of the past, massive individuals. They were all originally painted, but the paint came off after removing the mud surrounding the army, the mud flood, burying so much from the old world. And of course, we are told that a grave pit was discovered and excavated in 2003. Just finding all of this, with 121 skeletons retrieved, where they identify these people as the site workers, where we know that that's not true. And we also know that this is an necropolis. They just told us this. And there are so many more people than just 121 individuals across the 38 square miles. We know this. Most of the figures originally held real weapons, where the majority of these weapons were, of course, looted. Who looted these items? You tell me. Or they just rotted away. Not a chance. This was removed from the scene before we all got to see the old world's weapons that don't fit into the narrative. Again, what is really below our feet? I think that we all know that the previous civilization is. And I'm guessing that they still haven't found everything. With the main tomb of China's Terracotta Army, we are told that the first emperor of China remains unopened. This tomb lies beneath a large mound at the heart of the burial complex, the necropolis, that was just found in 1974, remains unopened. Why is this? I believe it's to, of course, preserve their narrative, where experts fear that opening the tomb could expose that the mainstream history is a lie, is exactly what I see. Telling us that our technology just isn't advanced enough to open the tomb, where I believe that they have found text, tablets, like we have seen, that explain what's inside. I think they have technology that can see inside, or I think that maybe they've already been in there. And then we see that they have records describing the tomb, scaring all of us, saying that there is mercury in there. So it's way too hazardous to show to the world. They know what's inside. They know that something has been found in the 1970s that would expose it all. And I believe that it's inside of this tomb, with these texts that we are told about stating. The tomb is said to be a grand underground palace filled with old world treasures, replicas of the empire, replicas of the previous civilization, with some speculating that it might hold even more intricate artifacts than just the Terracotta Army. And I think that's exactly right. All off limits to the public, all of us, all to preserve the mainstream narrative. And this is just part one. We will be back with so much more. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. See ya.